Hello,
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're great, thank you. So how this is gonna work is that you'll have 5 minutes for your speech, and then you'll have a 5 minute Q&A session from us and anyone from the stream as well. Richard will be our time card keeper. If you just look for him, he'll give you a 2 minute warning and a 1 minute warning, and you'll also see that in the chat as well. Do you have any other questions before we begin?
No, I don't think I do.
All right, whenever you're ready, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Louie, and I'm a senior at UW-Madison, home to FASO, and today I will be running for the outreach chair position. Mafa's mission to me has always been about educating and celebrating Filipino culture and connecting people with both similar and different backgrounds. The ability to unite and reach to people across all the region is important as it gives everyone a voice and a chance to listen to others. Mafa provides impactful experiences of growth for a large variety of people, and I would like to contribute to that mission as a board member and really make their opinions heard as the outreach chair. Throughout the past 2 years, I've had experiences that have prepared me for the co-outreach role, including being a Mafa intern in spring 2022 and the Secretary of FASO the 2022-2023 year. The Mafa internship showed me the general flow and responsibility of each position in Mafa board, including the outreach position, which will help me acclimate more easily to the role. In addition, it helped me in developing skills for making long distance relationships, which are both professional and social, and reaching to other people across the Mafa sphere. As for my position in FASO, I learned about the actual day-to-day operations of being on board, and I learned about the limits of my working ability and the necessity for collaboration and communication with other board members. And so both of these are pretty valuable experiences for the position. The co-outreach chair position involves a great deal of collaboration, especially if there's another co-chair position, but also with everyone on board in general. So I think communication is an essential part of my role, and I think that relates to general members, board members, and the other committee members that we might interact with all year. As the co-outreach chair, I think member feedback and opinions are very important to my position as the representative of them. And I would like to show the general members that I am there for them whenever they need. And I want to have like a casual relationship with them so that they might be more inclined to reach out to me if they need. And for professional purposes, I think like feedback forms or idea forms, as well as office hours, are great ways to be accessible for the people who need to say their piece. Um, as for the way I interact with the rest of board, I think I would just like to establish clear communication with the rest of my board so that they're free to communicate criticisms, ideas, and feedback to me. And I hope that by doing so, I would be open to do the same for them. And I think that that communication between board will just help everyone, including me, be accountable and improving in their positions. But I will also have like an individual drive to like organize myself, whether that be through reminders, calendars, and notes and such. But as you all may know, Mafa plans massive events that require the coordination of many people. And this doesn't just include people on boards, this includes general members as well. So I want to make sure when these giant processes are happening that everyone feels represented and respected in their positions. And if conflict were to arise, I would just like to have both perspectives from both groups and try to create a common solution that can really help with people in that. And so my goals for Mafa co-outreach share are to streamline and heavily push the Ma Families program. I think personally the Ma Fam program is really important to me as it helped me acclimate me to the Mafa sphere in general. I'd like to make a pretty simplified application process and advertise it for all these members to see. I'd also like the Ma Fams to advertise themselves so that they can see who appeals to them as well. And another goal of mine is to establish communication lines with those Ma Fam heads and assist them with any events they have because they are more likely to know what to do for their Ma family. Another goal of mine, which is related to the vice president external, is to create collaborative events between the different boards of local subregions. And this can help them like plan collaborative events so that we can strengthen ties in the local regions of the Mafa spheres and try to contribute to the overall family feeling. But beyond my time as co-outreach chair, I'd like to contribute to the lasting legacy of Mafa as well. I want to be open about my responsibilities to others so that I can help others who want to be prospective outreach chairs like get more comfortable in reaching into that. I also want to take good notes about the successes and failures of my position and kind of keep adding on to that so that the next co-outreach chairs can continue to keep building off of one another and so that it's a very collaborative and successive position. And finally, I just want to keep balancing professionalism and friendship within Mafa board. I think that's important to keep everyone accountable and just show that people that we're a good board. But yes, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you consider me as outreach chair. Thank you.
All right, great job. Thank you so much. Just some general questions. For at first, um, what what did you learn from the internship program that can be used for this position?
Yeah, so it was an internship. I was in the 2020-23 year, or sorry, the 2022 spring year, which was the same year as Mafa, which is both at my school. So I feel like I had a lot of collaboration between boards, and I got to see both how the personal board like of the school interacts and how Mafa interacts as a whole. So I got to see that connection. And as co-outreach chair, I feel like someone who reaches out to a lot of these members, I got to see that connection and what worked and what didn't, because I got to hear from both perspectives of their respective groups. So beyond that, I also learned especially like the specific responsibilities of the position. I was obviously under the co-outreach block at one point, and so I helped create events and just try to market the things that the co-outreach chairs at the time were trying to do. So I got to really see the flow that they got into. But yeah, again, beyond that, like I said before, just having that like board, which is like long distance and like you're not necessarily going to see them in person. It's like a different sort of board compared to what I'm used to. But that Mafa internship really showed me that collaboration is possible through long distances, and that if everyone works together, you can do that and get through things very successfully as well. But yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Great job on your speech. My
Thank
first question is, what improvements or ideas do you have for the Mop Family program, and how would you maintain contact with the Mop Fam heads?
Yeah, like I said, I think improvements for the Mafa family program include making a shorter application. I completed the application this year, but I know some people were like interested, but they didn't want to because the application was too long. And that is not a problem at all. It's important to have those details. But I think that just also relates to giving MAFAMs a lot more independence in trying to figure out and seek out members. So that's why I think I talked about how MAFAM should be able to like give like a little rundown of what they're like, and so people can see what they're interested in that way. And so it takes off a little stress from every other party because it allows MAFAMs to be more independent and search for people on their own. And as for my relationship with MAFAM heads, I just want to like have a meeting with them right away. I think it's important that we hear them out because they're the heart of the MAFAM program, and they are able to meet the needs of their MA family the best. So I would try to establish early on who MAFAM heads are, what their numbers are, and just try to be as open as possible. I really want to assist them because, like I said, the MAFAM heads have the most knowledge about their MA families. So I think just being open to them and being very helpful to them will be a way to do that.
Thank you.
And then I have a question. So in here, I wrote down that you said you wanted for the Ma Family program to streamline it and advertise it more. I know, I think one of those ways you just said was to shorten the application form or the Ma form. But I was wondering what other ways you were going to try to really, I guess, in your words, streamline or advertise the Ma Family program in your way.
Yeah, I'm not sure streamline is the right word, but I kind of just want to simplify it, make it very easy to fall into like different categories. And I think my way of doing that is kind of advertising what each Ma family is like. If people are looking for like professional Ma family, I can like there'll be questions that are very, very like guided towards that versus questions like if you're looking for social. And so just making it like short but very informative, like the application process, I think would be very good. And then again, input with Mafa family heads would be like my biggest thing too, because I'm sure again they have like the best idea of what their Mafams are like, and so I think just taking a look at making it shorter so that people are more likely to do it, and just like making the questions more telling of like what it's actually like, and also giving a preference too. If they have a preference for like what Mafam they want, you can just put that in there. Also, just take off some like stress for that too.
Awesome, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Andrew?
Yes. So co-outreach, as you mentioned, it is a partnership with your other co-chair. So how would you build that relationship with them, and how would you like if you both were to have a disagreement about a certain like activity, or you would want to do one thing versus the other, how would you work to find a compromise or find somewhere where both of your wants can get met?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think with working in any partnership, it's important that balance is taken into account, and just having multiple perspectives is important. So if there's like a conflict, for example, I would like to maybe reach out to other board members so I can get like an objective opinion, because I'm not going to lie and say that I have like, oh, I have no stake when there's like emotions at play. And so I think that just goes into board relationships in general and asking other people for that. But I intend to, if there's another co-outreach chair, to have a pretty strong relationship with them and try to be flexible for them, because I think flexibility is very important, especially when you're working with somebody else, because not everyone's going to be at their 100% some days, and some days they'll be able to do more. So I feel like just clear communication, whether that be texting and doing all of that, and like videoing and all that, is very important to me. And so like, I think having both a casual and professional relationship with them would be very important, so that we can like separate that out, but we can also gain rapport through our social relationship as well. But yes, does that answer your question? I don't know if I missed anything.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is time. Thank you so much. Those were great answers. All right, so going forward, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks. You'll either get an email from me or from the Mafa email. And yeah, do you have any other questions for us before we let you go?
No.
All right, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night, Andrew.
You too. Bye, guys.
All right, everyone, we'll meet back here again at 8:30 for Danielle's interview. Thank you.
I was waiting by the ocean, staring endlessly into this void of separation, of lovers and a dream. 'Cause we don't talk as deep as we used to. If I wanted the weather, I could just watch the news. I fear we're losing touch, but part of me still feels enough. Guess some things just can't stay. But what if you and I had passed us by? How different our lives would be, even if our stars don't end up aligning. There's a silver lining between. I'm just happy that I once held you close to me. Held you close to me. Held you close to me. It's hard to say that I'll be fine on my own. I remember how you taught me, turn your heart to a home. If you were still around, you'd say that I'm acting strange. I just can't help but miss those days. So what if you and I had passed us by? How different our lives would be, even if our stars don't end up aligning. There's a silver lining between. I'm just happy that I once held you close to me. silver lining. Ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da. She's my sunshine in the rain. She's my Tylenol when I'm in pain, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. Like a tall glass of lemonade when it's burning hot on summer days. She's exactly what I need. Said she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Oh, sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. She's my smile when I'm feeling blue. She's my good night's sleep when the day is through, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. She's kinda like this. Kinda like the feeling after your first kiss, except that every day she makes me feel like this. She's exactly what I need. Said she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. So beautiful. Oh, sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what. You're more of what I need and less of what I don't, baby. Soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful, so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need, I need. She's exactly what I need.
Palagay basang-basa ang dagit, aba'y damang-dama sa'king kalam ng punong-puno ng pananabik at ng kabalalim. Sa'king bawat paghinga nakatitig lamang sa iyo. Naglakad ka ng dahan-dahan sa pasilyo tungo sa altar ng simbahan. Hahagkanan, di ka bibitawan. Wala na akong mahihiling pa. Ikaw at ikaw. Ikaw at ikaw. Ikaw at ikaw. sa pagtanda ang hiling sa Diyos na may gawa. Apelido ko'y maging iyon. Naglakad ka ng dahan-dahan sa pasilyo tungo sa'kin at hinawakan mo ako't aking binabigilang maluhan ng mayakap na ikaw ang ikaw. Ikaw ang ikaw.
Right, I'm gonna let Danielle in. Mm, Hi, oh, hi Danielle.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good, thank you. Okay, so how is it's gonna go is you have 5 minutes for your speech, and then there's a 5 minute Q&A session afterwards. Richard will be our time card keeper. He'll give you a 2 minute and 1 minute warning, and you'll also see it in the chat as well. Do you have any other questions before you begin?
No, I don't think so. I'm ready.
All right, whenever you're ready, you have the floor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Linez, and I'm running as next year's Mafa VP Internal. So, a little background info about me. I'm a rising senior at Ohio State with a major in neuroscience and a minor in world lit. I've been a member of the Filipino Student Association, aka PSA, since the start of my freshman year. And for the past 2 years, I also served on their exec board as well. So I found out about Mafa through PSA during my sophomore year, and I can't emphasize enough on how appreciative I am for Mafa. Mafa's projects like MFAS, MAFAMs, leadership retreats, and the intern program have all been amazing opportunities that have helped me grow and make valuable connections and friends across the Midwest. Specifically, I was a Mafa intern last year in spring 2022, and I helped lead MFAS 2023 as a coordinator and as a member on multiple committees. These experiences have not only helped me improve as a leader, but it's also given me a stronger connection to my cultural identity and background. And so I want to give back to this incredible organization by serving as their next VPI. In terms of qualifications, my 2 years in PSA board is an essential asset because it's taught me how to have efficient communication and how to work productively on a team. The first position I had on PSA board was director of programming, and this role primarily involved planning the GBMs, also known as the general body meetings. This position strengthened my skills in organization, creativity, and team building because it required thoroughly planning projects in a timely manner and collaborating with other orgs or board members to make these events possible. After that, for my junior year, I was their director of external affairs, and as external, I was in charge of PSA's connections and collaborations outside of OSU. This included direct and consistent communication with Mafa since I was PSA's representative. So, alongside being external, my time as a Mafa intern and MFAS coordinator all prove that I have the extensive knowledge in how Mafa works, the projects that Mafa does, like MFAS, and on the expectations and responsibilities set in Mafa board. As VPI, some of the main duties are leading the Mafa intern program, keeping Mafa board on task, and in general handling communication between Mafa orgs, Mafa members, and e-board. All of these require consistency and diligence. And specifically with exec board, I plan to set a high standard for open communication that's needed to run a strong board. I plan to do so by being a dependable communicator that does consistent check-ins and by building a strong support system that fosters a healthy environment for Mafa board to work together in. For every individual position, we're all going to have our own goals set and have our own projects. So I want to help future board achieve that by supporting them to be their very best. Similarly, when it comes to Mafa orgs and general members, I'm eager to help mitigate conflicts that arise and also provide people with Mafa-related resources that they may need. Some ideas that I have in mind for this would be to make a form for members or Mafa school exec boards to fill out for any problems or advice that they have regarding their org. And moving forward, Mafa can reach out and help. I also have an idea of inviting schools to collaborate for a mini crash course style workshop to showcase Mafa. This could be incorporated into one of their GBMs, and I think it's a great way to engage with new members in a direct and welcoming way. And lastly, when it comes to managing the intern program, this project holds a special place in my heart because it is what got me into Mafa. My main goal for this program is to mentor future interns in their leadership skills by building their confidence within Mafa and the respective Filipino orgs. To have a successful intern program, I plan to be thoroughly prepared with the work and responsibilities assigned for the interns, and to always be an enthusiastic and trustworthy and sincere leader that's not only a resource, but a friend. By the end of the program, I hope they can utilize these skills for their own future aspirations and endeavors. Looking ahead, I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to run for Mafa board. So thank you all for your time and for listening. Oh, that was right on time. Nice.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, that was right on time. Great speech. Just some questions for you. So as VPI, obviously you're handling internal conflicts and all that. So when conflicts do arise, obviously between between members of other schools and maybe like between Mafa executive board and other planning committees, what is how would you handle that, and what is your solution if conflicts do arise between, I guess, the two members of other organizations or just these planning committees?
Yeah. So with any situation, it's always important to be, empathetic and respectful. So the first thing I always want to do is to, communicate and reach out for to have a meeting and to just listen to the situation. And specifically when it comes to handling a professional setting, like if we are in a planning committee or if it's within Mafa board, I think it's important to set realistic resolutions and to hold everyone accountable to moving forward. And I think it's always important to plan ahead when it comes to these conflicts to prevent any future ones that arise. If it's more like an internal one, within general members, I think it's always important to just keep in mind that everyone has their own personal beliefs and to be respectful of that, and to just if it's needed to compromise and making sure that there's no bad blood that stays.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey, Danielle, great speech. I have some questions on behalf of Ellen. She wasn't able to be here today. But one question is, you touched on the intern program and your experience. So could you also touch on a time you experienced positive mentorship and how you would foster that environment for others, especially when leading the intern program?
So a time where I had positive leadership over I was the mentee. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and how you kind of apply that to the intern program.
Yeah, so I mean, first thing I can think of really is when I was a Mafa intern, and it was Mafa board 2021 and 2022. Michael Louie was their VPI, and overall him and Mafa board that year were just great mentors. Shadowing them during the intern program, it really showed the hard work they do for Mafa, and it inspired me to work harder for my own org PSA and to even run today. And it is super rewarding because the work that Mafa does, it promotes cultural empowerment and leadership in Philem youth. And so I want to continue that pattern with the internship program. And when it comes to being the mentor from that perspective, what I want to keep in mind is that it's not always going to come naturally. You have to be prepared. And so I want to thoroughly plan and organize the intern program. And that's not going to be just from me, but it's also going to be from the other members when they're going to be the ones that are shadowed. So I want them to also be, I want to give them the proper preparations for that as well.
Yeah, that's great. And then the last question I have is, you also touched on supporting Mafa board members if you were to be VPI. So can you elaborate further on how you plan to support those board members?
Yeah, so besides the regular check-ins, I think that every position really has like their own specific like events or like programs planned. So I think when it comes to those deadlines coming up, like specifically for events court, it's like MFAS and treasurer. They can have like fundraising events, and marketing and media always they have a lot of stuff going on too. And I think it's good to give extra support and attention to when it comes close to those events, so that they know that they always have like other members that can reach out for help, including myself. I think, yeah, that's basically it.
Great, thank you.
All right, that was perfect again. That was right on time. Great answers, Danielle. Those were really amazing. So going forward, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks with our final decision. You'll get an email from me or just from the general Mafa email, and that will let us know our final answer. Do you have any other questions before we let you go for today?
Yeah, and this can be for anyone, I guess, just like from your guys' time being on Mafa board, like what do you think was like the biggest thing you've learned, or yeah.
Yeah, so for me personally, I always say it's the leadership experience. All the It's very different from being president of my own Filipino organization back in college. It's very different because a lot of it is more online for us to meet. But I did enjoy learning how to lead in a different way through Mafa. So I always say it's a leadership experience for me. If anyone else wants to chime in.
I can chime in really quickly. Yeah, what Christian said, you'll learn like a lot of different things. Like, I don't know, like I thought that there wouldn't be like much else to learn, but definitely like, obviously you too, you planned MFAS and stuff like that. Definitely will like this will test your patience, but like it's super rewarding, like you said. So I think it's just like you have to put in, this will really teach you, you have to like test your patience and put in a lot of hard work. And at the end of the day, it's like very rewarding, and it'll be a very meaningful experience. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Oh, yeah, that's basically all the questions I had.
All right, then you are free to go. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Bye.
All right, everyone. We'll meet back again at 9 p.m. for E-Man's interview. Thank you.
Adobe just pinged me. They want you to do an ad for Acrobat.
An ad? I'm not gonna just hawk products. I can evolve.
What makes you so special?
Yep.
This is a PDF with all the contract terms on it. I'm actually interfacing with Adobe right now. That's what's so cool about Acrobat, the all-in-one PDF and e-signature solution that allows you to edit, comment on, and sign PDFs from anywhere on any device. Acrobat's got it.
That was weird. But I'm in.
So
Let's
just
do
a
it.
little swoopy thing with your finger. Excellent.
I'm an Avenger. Everywhere I go, people ask me the same thing.
Can you take a picture with my dog?
I literally saved the world.
Oh, did you?
How is that for you, Scott? You should write a book about it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp's biggest adventure.
Where are we?
It's like we're camping. We love camping.
We've never been camping.
He's now streaming.
Fudge?
I'm gonna let Eman in. Hi, Eman. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. How are
All
you?
right. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So how this is gonna work is you'll have 5 minutes for your speech, and then you'll have a 5 minute Q&A session from us, and then Richard will be our time card keeper. So might not be able to see him on your phone, but he'll also put warnings in the chat. He'll give you a 2 minute and 1 minute warning, and yeah. You have any other questions before we begin?
Oh, sounds good.
All right, whenever you're ready, you have the floor.
All right. Well, hello everyone. I'm Manny for I will be a senior at UW studying computer science, and I am running for Secretary of Cultural Affairs. While I have never held a board position in FASO, I've been a committed member by volunteering for MFAS 2022, joining FASO's first musical group, Kumentayo, and helping out at general body meetings wherever and whenever I can. I also was a Mafa intern, as you all know, this past spring semester, where I got a better understanding of how Mafa board works and operates, taking a specific interest in the Secretary of Cultural Affairs when I was under Sophia. In order to continue to promote cultural awareness for members,
Um, let's. Oh, there he is. Okay. Hello. You,
sorry about that.
no, you're fine.
Hello.
Yeah, we can. You're like in and out, but we can still like sort of hear you. But we'll still you'll give you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit extra time just because of like Wi-Fi issues. So, but if you just want to resume whenever you can.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Let's see where I left off. Yeah, I was also a Mafa intern this past spring semester where I got a better understanding of how Mafa board operates, taking a specific interest in the Secretary of Cultural Affairs when I was under Sophia. So, in order to continue to promote cultural awareness for members, I will primarily work closely with the directors of media and marketing through Mafa's social media, and I plan to revitalize and update Mafa's website. Utilizing Mafa's social media accounts, I will continue to post on this day of histories, as this is an easy way to distribute important dates in Filipino history and culture to Mafa members. Having accurate and unbiased information in these posts is also very important to me, so I'll make sure to post my sources and check the validity of them, and also check in with my peers, my other board members. I also see value in using these days in history to represent smaller pockets of the Filipino community that may not feel like they are fully seen. In addition, I would like to feature MAFA affiliated schools on the Instagram page more often, specifically features of every school's cultural nights and APIDA Heritage Month celebrations. I see this as an opportunity to feel more connected to the other schools in the MAFA sphere and celebrate our culture and history together. I plan to continue roundtable discussions and create valuable workshops for MAFA events. These discussions and workshops have the ability to also shine a light on smaller groups in the Filipino community that don't feel fully seen. They also allow for good discussion on topics that may be difficult to talk about. Through my experience in these types of discussions, I've been so enriched by the many different experiences that people have, and it helps us understand, appreciate, and respect each other. One of my other main goals is to revitalize and update the Mafa website. While there's plenty of useful links and information on the website right now, I plan to fully update it and improve the navigation on the website for users. I would also like to explore using the Mafa blog along with the directors of media and marketing to further advertise Mafa events. One challenge I've encountered in the past is lack of attendance or participation for events. And one way to tackle this is through efficient and effective advertising. Making sure we advertise MAFA events early can help. Making sure we have all the needed information about the event out there. Using MAFA's social media is perfect for this, but sometimes that information can get lost in the account's posts. So with an up-to-date website with all the needed information, members can always have one place to look for events without problem. By optimizing the MAFA website, there can be one place for all the information on MAFA, upcoming events, applications, and etc. Despite my lack of being some type of cultural chair before this, I am passionate about learning more about our culture and history, and I'm excited to share that with others. So it is important. It's important to me that we understand our culture and our roots. I hope that through myself and the work that I do, I can inspire others to explore our culture and celebrate. I see room for improvement in myself and this position, so I will do my best to fulfill and improve my role in Mafa. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great. All right, so just some general questions at first. What sort of leadership skills or any other skills you are hoping to achieve or obtain if you were to obtain this position?
Yeah, so for leadership skills, definitely it definitely comes with holding a board position. Just learning how to manage myself and work with others is something that I want to become better at. And also through managing and creating workshops and roundtable discussions, um, I want to improve my ability to um, kind of facilitate these larger groups of people. And yeah, just become better at that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I have a couple of questions for you, Eman. First of all, great presentation, lots of great ideas. So obviously, Secretary of Cultural Affairs has some various logistical and programming responsibilities. You touched on some of them, like managing the website, cultural programming. And I was curious that, like, so when your schedule gets busier and times get tougher, how do you plan on prioritizing those different tasks according to like your own goals and values for the position?
Yeah, definitely. Good question. So yeah, I definitely will be busier this upcoming year, but my plan is to prioritize Mafa board if I get on it, especially because I'd only be busy with school and work mainly. So I will make sure to set aside time every day to work on Mafa board stuff and make sure that I get my work done. So that I don't have to worry about it.
Nice, great answer. My next question is, again, the position is really self-motivated, and I was curious how you normally go about setting goals and then following through on them.
Yeah. So whenever I set a goal, I keep it pretty loose. Um I don't set very specific goals for myself because I know that things are very subject to change. So through that, I have this kind of general goal to work towards, and throughout working towards that, I can get more specific with my work, so that it's because if I set a more specific goal to begin with, I kind of get to I'm kind of I'm losing the word I'm looking for, but I just get over my head and with it. So
I do have one more question in case anyone else doesn't have anything that comes to mind. My last question is an important part of sharing cultural information with the Mafa sphere is that what you share is unbiased and apolitical. And I was curious how you plan on accomplishing that.
yeah, so I plan to number one, make sure that my sources are unbiased and are credible, um, and two, make sure that I check in with maybe another board member to see if my like something I'm going to post or planning to post is fully unbiased, and have them double check me so we can keep each other accountable through that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Christian, I think.
Sorry, guys. I forget that I muted myself that one. I was saying, excuse me. Great answers, E-Man. You finished right on time. So going forward, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks' time. You'll get an email from me about our final decision, and we'll let you know then. So do you have any other questions for us before we let you go for tonight?
No. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us. So we'll see you later and have a good night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, everyone. See you back here at 9:30 for Salone's interview. Thank you.
Having MS isn't the only thing I have going on. That's why I take Kesimpta. It's the
Simplify your business accounting with QuickBooks. Easily track income and expenses.
Do I miss the action?
All right, let her in. Mhm. Hi, Saloni. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah, I think so. Sorry. I was trying to make sure it was working.
No, you're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. I'm good.
Oh yeah, I totally understand. Well, we'll try to get this as fast as we can, but how it's gonna work is you'll have 5 minutes for your speech and then 5 minutes of Q&A afterwards. Richard will be our time card keeper. He'll give you a 2-minute warning and a 1-minute warning, and I'll also say it in the chat. Do you have any other questions before we begin?
I do not think so.
All right. If you don't have any other questions, whenever you're ready, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so hi everyone. Before beginning, I just want to introduce myself. So good evening, I would say. My name is Lani, and I go by she, he, they pronouns. I'm currently a senior majoring in biomedical informatics and minoring in creative writing at IUPUI. I will be running for the vice president internal position along with the secretary of cultural affairs and outreach chair. Okay, so for a big portion of my life, I have always remembered being alone in the kind of way that is hard to describe to people when we first meet. So how do you divulge 21 years of being so lost within yourself? And for some reason, you're looking for the final puzzle piece to bring you back together and make you whole. Physically, I look Black or even Indian to a few, but I have always been both Black and Filipino. I will say I have never really felt like I belonged anywhere, and I secretly carried that pain until coming to college. So when I joined FSA at IUPUI and Mafa, of course, I didn't expect to meet my lifelong best friends or fall so deeply in love with my culture that it honestly changed everything for me. Needless to say, the journey I took with FSA forever changed me, and so did Mafa. I began to grow closer to my kuya and mentor, Jacob Chavez, and I watched how deeply he appreciated and loved FSA and Mafa. Back then, I didn't understand the value of Mafa and what it truly represents to the Filipino community in America. But after the end of PCN, I realized the importance of cultural organizations and their influence on fabricating a deeper wave of connection that brings us closer as a family, as a home. So when I think of Mafa, it means the opportunity to jump, to leap into a community of excellence that cultivates with education, brings communities across the nation together, and establishes a sense of home to all. No matter where we may be located in the United States, we're all one, unified by Mafa. At the Philippine Student Association, or FSA, at IUPUI, I did hold two positions. I was president for 2 years, from 2021 to 2023, so this year, and Philippine Culture Night this year as well. I learned and grew so much through these positions. Being president for 2 years taught me the importance of collaboration and executing necessary discussions on issues circulating the community, how to remain unbiased, fair, and true to the values of our organization, and resolve in the event of disagreements, delegate roles and responsibilities for executive board meetings and or events, inspire and uplifting our next generation of leaders, and how being kind and spreading love can really go such a far way. And then as PCN director, I took on the role to revive PCN at IUPUI because I knew it would mean so much to the OG Sinigang, which shout out to Donrick, Ray, Covey, Rixella, and Sophie, literally my glue. We all paved our way for FSA out of the COVID grave, honestly. And I knew I had a duty also to my audience in Little, Cheska Karato. I've never been the type of person to leave when I know someone may need help or guidance, but I know it'd be wrong to turn my back on these little baby leaders. So I did what I always did. I took the role and I let it like it's done in the hopes that my example can ricochet a new, more powerful wave of leaders for our future. So a lot of lessons, a lot of challenges, but I don't regret a single moment of it because I do it all again in a heartbeat. Maybe that's my greatest flaw. I love everyone and everything so much, but I carry it with so much pride because the one thing in the world that's lacking is love. I want to join Mafa to build what my friends and I built for FSA. I want to foster and cultivate growth, go for the organization and its current and future members, the executive board and businesses working in accordance with Mafa. I want to inspire. I want to see people fall in love like I did with our culture and its people, to understand there is a growing community here with people grounded upon supporting one another to accept you. I want to watch Mafa grow. For some reason, I can't help but compare Mafa to a budding lilac. It blooms in the spring with a sweet, delicate fragrance and deep ivory petals, but most often, oh, sorry, it's okay. I was almost
wow.
done. I almost made it. It's okay.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, that's time, but maybe you can elaborate more in the questions. So we'll just go ahead and
Of
get
course.
started, and then but yeah, great speech, by the way. Just a general question I've been asking for people who've been applying for the vice president internal position.
Mhm.
As a VPI, you'll handle like internal conflicts. Sometimes conflicts arise between members between other organizations, and also between like MAFA executive board and planning committees of like such as MFAS. How would you handle and mitigate conflicts between two members or these two planning committees?
Yeah, it's I feel like I'm always like I'm okay. So anyone who has like a zodiac sign, I'm a Libra. I'm also the oldest out of my family. So I feel like I'm always just like mitigating and like handling. But if a situation were to arise, I would take both situations privately. I would gather everything. I guess I'm very empathetic. So I just want to understand the situation at hand first before I assess. Yes, I would hear out both stories and then um kind of just like come back and then assess the whole situation as a whole, see how, let me see. When I don't know how to explain it. So like when I come to these situations, the first thing I think is like, how is this going to affect Mafa or said organization? And like, what is like the best solution that can collaborate both equal sides to a solution that both sides are happy, if that makes sense. And after that, I do like to collaborate. I don't like making decisions like wholeheartedly without getting like constructive feedback from other people. So I would talk to the executive board, see their thoughts, see if there are like other perspectives that I might be missing before like I make the final decision on how to handle it. But yeah, that's how I would take it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I have a question. So for the co-outreach position, you're working with a co. So how do you distribute your tasks with your co, and what happens if you both have different ideas or preferences, and to reach a common ground together?
Do you mind repeating the question again, just so I can?
Yeah. So for the co-outreach position, like you will have a co, and like how will you distribute tasks together? And then if you guys run into like an issue where you guys have different ideas, how will you reach like a common ground together?
I love meetings, be it like informal or formal. So I think I would just reach out to the person at first and then set up a time where we can discuss both of our ideas. If we do come to a disagreement where we might not like, I think I just like talking. I love conversations. I love uncomfortable conversations. So I think I would just keep talking to see where we can both just come to a middle ground of understanding. But also at the very same time, if I think that the other idea is better than mine, then I would just go for it, just because whatever idea is like uplifting and best, like, yeah. So sorry, I don't know if that answered your question, but yeah.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. Thank you.
Hi, so I have a question as well. So Secretary of Cultural Affairs has a lot of various logistical and programming responsibilities. Like there's managing the website, there's working on cultural programming. I was just curious how you plan on prioritizing those different tasks according to your goals and values for the position potentially.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love like organizing stuff. So I'm glad you said that. I actually, this is my planner. This is literally how I keep myself accountable with like everything that I'm in, because I work in a research lab. I also am like an ambassador. But yeah, my major is in biomedical informatics. So I am always on my laptop as well. So managing like the website wouldn't be such a huge deal, because I also have an online website calendar thing. I don't know. Do you use Notion? Yeah. I have Notion. That's, yeah.
Me too. I also have Notion. It's great.
I love Notion. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
one question about the VPI position. So part of the VPI position is leading the intern program. So can you tell me how you would foster a positive environment for the intern program, and how, kind of a second question, how do you plan on supporting Mafa board members?
Yeah. I will say, because I didn't do the Mafa intern program this year. So I feel like I still have a lot to learn. I would have to meet with you first to get like a general understanding of it first before like setting it up. But in terms of fostering a safe space, that is something that I am very, I guess, like driven by. So as director of like Philippine Culture Night, that was something that I was just very like avid upon. But just making sure that we're being respectful to boundaries, respectful to other like ideas or perspectives, but also just creating a programming that is inclusive, and I guess you could say like welcoming. But yeah, because I feel like inclusivity really does like foster that safe and just uplifting environment. But yeah, what was the other question? You had a next one after that.
Yeah, how do you plan on supporting Mafa board members?
Mafa board members, I don't know if this is like weird to say, but I see like people that like I work with sometimes like as family. Like I have like this like degree of respect where like it just goes deeper than that. So in terms of like supporting, just a friend, just someone you can talk to, someone that like you can lean on, and like if there are issues, like we can fight those together. That's the whole point of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm here to listen. I'm here to support.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, that is time. That was actually quite perfect. Great answers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So going forward, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks' time. You'll get an email from me or the General Mafa email. And then you'll have our final answer then. But yeah, do you have any other questions for us before we let you go for the night?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what were the other positions that, I'm sorry, Jacob and I were like, we were talking in Rec Solo too, and I was just curious what other positions like were open, because I'm also recruiting. I'm recruiting, like I'm trying to get people to join. So I'm just wondering.
Good. Yeah, right now our treasurer spot is open
Okay.
and director of media. Those two spots are still open, and we are opening a round 2 tomorrow. So if you want that information, do what you will. But yeah, those two positions is what open right now for round 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would, I'm sorry, I'm a little unfamiliar with the process as well. And then after, okay, wait, no, it's fine. Yeah, no.
You
should
sure?
be
You
okay.
can totally ask it. If,
No, it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay. I think I understand. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So like I said, you'll just hear from us in 2 weeks' time because of that round 2 process. So you'll hear from me and we'll let you know our final decision.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. You have a good night.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, everyone. I'm going to end the stream. Hold on.